Isn't it funny when we were kids, we thought the horrible monsters in our closet would get us? I thought so too, until that night. I thought that weekend would be fantastic. My family was leaving for a camping trip without me, so that I could get some work done in peace. So I would have this 2-story house all to myself. My children were sad about it, and I couldn't blame them. I barely get them to understand why I had to do what I had to do. My wife tried to calm me down as I help her pack up everything in the car. After bribing them with snacks and being able to play with them in the park when they arrived back from the campground, they quickly hopped into the car and waited for their amazing mother to get in and drive. My wife and I laughed at this as we kissed goodbye. I thanked her multiple times for understanding, and she, of course, joked about how I owe her big for this and that I need to go with them next time. I told her how much I hoped that I could, but my work had to get done. With that, they drove off. This left me with the housework, and my pets to myself. I suppose I can continue the story. I need to at least tell you what I do for a living. I'm a delivery driver at night and a writer by day. Unfortunately, my writing career hasn't taken off quite yet, hence why I needed this job until then. Part of the problem was that I would get a chapter written and then get writer's block, hence why my wife wanted me to go with them this weekend. She figured it would help, but I assured her that it wasn't going to help and that it would be okay. That night after I got home from work, I was too tired to even try to write despite how much I truly wanted to. My cat bothered me for food, so I fed her and went to bed. I locked the doors and walked around the house for the last time that night before I went to sleep. I quickly fell into a deep sleep until I heard a gentle knock on my closed closet door. I woke up and checked my phone for the time. It showed 2:45 a.m. I tried to listen to it again, but barely heard it. Then the noise proceeded to get louder as I arose from my bed, believing to it simply being my cat, somehow, getting stuck in the closet again. However, I was paralyzed by fear as when I looked down at the edge of my bed, my cat was by my feet sound asleep. The tapping, however, grew a bit louder behind my closed closet door. My cat barely responded to the noise, so I thought I had been hallucinating. Maybe the combination of listening to horror narrations and the lack of sleep were finally getting to me. It's what I had thought. Even the cat jumped from the bed, from the thumps against the closet door. I then shouted, "What the hell?" My cat, Carmel, and I stared at the door. It felt like time dragged on its heels as I almost begged for it to have been something in the closet falling to the ground. I would feel stupid about it, but at least I knew I would be safe. Carmel left the room, leaving just me and whatever was behind the door. The adrenaline was wearing off around 3 a.m. As I felt my eyes getting heavy, I told myself that I would check whatever fell in the morning, and made the mistake of going back to sleep. My head touched a pillow, and I was only asleep for a few minutes when I heard a blood-curdling scream coming from my closet as the doorknob to the closet was practically being forced off. I jolted up and grabbed the nearest thing to protect myself from the creature. I knew it wouldn't be enough, but something was better than nothing. The thing behind the door began to bang on it over and over again as my eyes widened. The closet gave off the shape of an unknown man screaming for his life. But what scared me more was the indentation of some hideous creature feeding on the man's neck. No door should have been able to give off such a gruesome sight, and yet it did. As the creature fed upon the man, I could hear the flesh and bone being ripped away as the man stopped screaming. It was then that everything went silent. The following morning, I hoped and prayed that it was all just some freaky dream. However, as I slowly opened the closet door, a black duffel bag was on the floor. It had a knife, a gun, and some rope, and what I could only assume to be chloroform. Everything else seemed to be as I left the night before. Then I saw what looked like to be a cell phone in the unzipped side pocket of the bag. When I saw it, I became as white as a ghost, and my blood felt as cold as ice. It was my wife calling. I didn't answer, but I did look through the call logs and texts. The text messages showed that my wife was seeing whoever it was that was in my closet last night. They had planned out my death, and she was getting worried if the man Brandon was okay. I searched deeper into the closet, but didn't see anything. However, something whispered in my ear.
Don't worry. She's next.
I know my wife cheated on me and wanted me dead, but it was the kids that I was worried about. I tried to stop the creature, but it disappeared. In the blink of an eye, the creature that just saved me disappeared into thin air. I wish I could say that I was brave enough to have gone after the creature, but I didn't. Instead, my plan was to just wait it out. Unfortunately, I didn't have to wait long. I got a call that following night from my in-laws, and then a follow-up call with the police. They said that my wife was randomly deciding to take a walk after my son got into a heated argument with her. They had gone to look for her for hours, but hadn't found her until an hour ago. Somehow, she got mauled by a large animal. However, what left the police unsure if it was an animal that just got her killed was that what was written on the trees next to her. That which has failed to kill must be punished in blood and fear. The police wonder if I knew anything about it, but I honestly didn't. I lawyered up, just in case the cops try to pin this on me, but they never did. Instead, it's now become a cold case. So many questions ring into my head. Like, why would she cheat on me? Who was the guy that tried to kill me? What the fuck was that creature? And most importantly, what would have happened to me if both my wife and that random stranger had succeeded in killing me? I thought this all behind me the second I gathered my children and took them home. I know things won't be the same, but I had hope for some sort of normalcy that would prove not to be the case as I made the mistake and looked at my dark and open closet. Fuck, I said, trembling as I felt. I was going to piss my pants. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. But to feel that it would be my last mistake.
Shh. I'm not here to kill you. Just to make a simple offer.
What offer? And in that moment, he tossed the man out of the closet. He looked beaten and badly clawed up, as if he was attacked by a large cat and barely made it alive to tell a tale.
Kill him any way you like, and I'll give you a new life. One with no kids who are traumatized by the loss of their mother or a cheating wife that tried to kill you. Take his life, and it'll be like you took away the pain of both you and your children.
Part of me wanted to ask the cliche question of what would happen if I didn't, but the creature that was so tall that he had to lurch under the wooden doorframe of my closet to speak to me with its glowing yellow eyes scared me to the point where I couldn't speak.
You are wondering why I'm doing this. Rest assured, there's no strings to this. I'm just punishing a failure who made a bargain with me. They made a bargain. Your life for a life, all to themselves, with no one able to punish them for it. Such fools.
Suddenly, a long, well-kept knife appeared in my hands.
Time's ticking, Dimitri. Do it.
What choice do I have? A fresh start? Revenge on the bastard who was sleeping with my wife? And my kids who wouldn't feel pain anymore? How could anyone pass it up? I walked up to the man and hesitated for a bit as he started to beg for his life so weakly that I could barely hear him. As I plunged the knife deep into his abdomen, I whispered into his ears, "Say hi to my wife in hell for me." True to the creature's word, that life was erased. I had no children, or a wife that wanted me dead. However, as I walked around outside to clear my head, not to be in the house anymore, I realized my mistake. I felt myself crumbling. Brandon and my wife in the past life were happily walking down the street with what used to be my children. I wanted to break down crying and screaming, but I knew there was no use. Brandon and Alyssa had won. For now, anyway. Now, if you excuse me, I have to do some research to continue. I wanted to make a deal on my own soon. And it looks like the knife I used on Brendan is being sold at the antique shop not too far from here.
Good night. Farewell. And remember, don't get lost in the dark.